How's it going, boys? Johnny Superb Man here, and the NHL playoffs are finally upon us. I can't wait. It's about time that we get to watch some real hockey with real consequences. Sometimes regular season games just don't have any juice in them. But now with the Cup on the line and a best-of-7 series, we are guaranteed to see elite-level hockey. Hopefully, we're spared the horrible offside challenges and the goaltender interference calls, but we'll save that for when it happens. Not if, but when. Today, though, I'm going to take some time and talk about the NHL playoffs and which teams I think have a successful run in them. We're going to start atop the Western Conference with the Nashville Predators and the Colorado Avalanche. This series is pretty straightforward to me. The Nashville Predators should run through the Colorado Avalanche as long as they play to their potential, unless Nathan MacKinnon isn't done winning awards and has his eyes set on the Conn Smythe. He is most likely going to win the Hart Trophy as the league's most valuable player and could, I say could, help the Avs upset the Predators in round one, but he would literally need to produce godlike performances over and over again. On the other hand, Nashville, they won the President's Trophy this year, they made the Stanley Cup Finals last year, and they have an improved roster, so they look to be ready for another deep playoff run. I give this series to the Predators in 5 games. Sorry, Colorado, but I just don't see it going any other way. Next up, we have the Winnipeg Jets versus the Minnesota Wild, and I don't envy either one of these squads. Whichever team ends up winning the series will more than likely have to face off against the Predators in round 2. So imagine you're Minnesota, and you finished as the 8th best team in the NHL, and the 4th best team in the Western Conference. Yet, in the first 2 rounds, you'll have to get through the President's Trophy winning Predators and the 2nd best team in the league, the Jets. My goodness, this playoff format. Thanks a lot, Gary Bettman. Now, for the prediction, I'll go with the Jets in 6 games. There's one stat I always look to when the playoffs come around, and that's how a team is performing to finish the year. Winnipeg is scorching hot right now, going 11-1-0 in their last 12 games. I was actually able to see them play my Leafs a couple of weeks ago in the ACC, and they suffocated the Buds. We didn't have a single breakaway, 2-on-1, or any kind of power play pressure. They certainly looked playoff ready. They might have even won the President's Trophy this year if they didn't start Steve Mason all those games at the beginning of the season. I mean, Wheeler, Laine, Ehlers, Scheifele, Connor, it's going to be tough for the Wild to contain these guys, especially with injuries to Ryan Sutter, and Jared Spurgeon. Like I said before, the Wild have the toughest trip to the final out of all the teams, but if their veterans can outplay the young Jets, they may have a chance. Guys like Eric Stahl, who had a fantastic year, Zach Parise, Mikko Koivu, these guys need to step up in a big way, and they need their depth to chip in as well. It's tough, Minnesota, but hey, at least you don't have Chicago in your way this year, right? Next, we have the Cinderella story of the year, the Las Vegas Golden Knights up against the LA Kings. And I guess it would be foolish to bet against the Golden Knights after everything they accomplished this year. I keep expecting them to come back down to earth, but all they keep doing is winning. Now, the question is, are they successful because they play in the same division as the Yotes, Canucks, Oilers, and Flames? Or are they the real deal? Will William Karlsson continue to play like a 40-goal scorer? Will Jonathan Marchessault continue to play like a point-per-game player? We all know the struggles Marc-Andre Fleury has had in the playoffs. How will he perform this year? The LA Kings, on the other hand, are proven playoff performers, and unlike previous years, they are healthy once again. Jeff Carter is back from injury and has 11 points over his last 10 games. Dustin Brown has returned to his 2012 form with 28 goals on the year. You know, Anze Kopitar and Drew Doughty are going to be dominant as always, and Jonathan Quick is healthy. The Kings are coming into the playoffs on a 12-5-3 run over the last 20 games, as well as having the best penalty kill percentage in the league and the fewest goals scored against any team. Now, is that because they're in the Pacific? Is it because they're great defensively? I don't know, but I do know that defense wins championships and experience trumps inexperience. I'm giving this series to the LA Kings in 5 games. Next, we have the Anaheim Ducks versus the San Jose Sharks, and I'll be the first to admit I have no clue what will happen between these two teams. It could be a sweep, it could be a 7-game marathon for all I know. The Ducks are 12-1-1 in their last 14 games, so they're flying high right now. I'd also give them the advantage in the net with Gibson if he's healthy and Ryan Miller over Martin Jones. However, I give the scoring advantage to the Sharks. Pavelski, Couture, Thornton, Evander Kane, Brent Burns. That might be too much for the Ducks. Anaheim really needs their depth to chip in, and they need Corey Perry to produce. He's only scored 3 goals over his last 16 games. 17 goals is all he scored this year. That's not going to cut it in the playoffs. So I'll go with the Sharks in 6 games. With that, we jump over to the Eastern Conference to cover the Tampa Bay Lightning versus the New Jersey Devils. I'm not going to take too long on this prediction. I give it to the Lightning in a 4-game sweep. Even though it was a fantastic year for the New Jersey Devils, Taylor Hall playing like a stud. Nice job, Chiarelli, you freaking moron, my goodness. Nico Hischier having a solid rookie season, and the team finishing ahead of the Panthers to clinch the playoffs. The Bolts are just way too deep and overpowered. Since 2015, when Tampa lost in the Cup final, I feel like the Lightning haven't been able to catch any break at this time of the year. Whether it's Steven Stamkos injured, Ben Bishop getting injured at the wrong time, or they missed the playoffs because of a regular season injury, they always come up short while looking like a threat to start the year. This season, they are deeper than ever and healthy. Vasilevsky is now the starter and looking great. Braden Point, Yanni Gourde, I hope I pronounced that right, and Mikhail Sergachev all had fantastic breakout years. And, oh yeah, I forgot to mention, they have Steven Stamkos, Kucherov, Hedman, Johnson, McDonough, JT Miller, Palat. I mean, I'm sorry, New Jersey, but you may have already won your last game of the season. Next up, we have my Toronto Maple Leafs up against the Boston Bruins. A rematch from the monumental collapse in 2013. I still have nightmares of it. Oh my God, here we go again. To be honest, I would have preferred to play the Lightning in round 1 rather than the Bruins. I feel like with Tampa, all the pressure would have been on them, given that they're such a stacked team. And just like last year against the Capitals, this young Leaf squad can thrive on the underdog status and surprise teams. But against the Bruins, I feel like there are expectations, not only to build upon what we did last year, but to avenge 2013. There's pressure, all right? And younger players don't always perform well in stressful situations. The Bruins have been there, done that. And that first line of Bergeron, Marchand, and Pasternak is lights out. Bergeron's also a freaking Leaf killer. I mean, that might be the best line in the NHL. I believe that the answer for this series lies in the crease. Which goalie will outperform the other? Tuukka Rask or Frederick Errol Bluetooth Anderson? If Anderson allows the Bruins to score early, the Leafs will be in trouble. Babcock's chip and chase system is best suited for tie games or games where we have the lead. So if we fall behind early, the Bruins will be able to carve us up as we search for that tying goal. On the other hand, Toronto's offense, we will score goals. We will get goals. There's no question. So if Anderson can make the right saves at the right times, it's not how many saves you make, it's the right ones. The Leafs could upset the Bruins for sure. It's hard for me to say this, but I do think the Bruins take this series in a Game 7 overtime, just like 2013. It's not the Leafs' time just yet, boys. Not yet. That comes next year after we sign John Tavares in the offseason. Next, we have the Washington Capitals up against the Columbus Blue Jackets, and just like the Anaheim versus San Jose series, I have no clue what to expect. Plain and simple, I want Ovechkin to win a cup. He deserves at least a trip to the Cup final, but won't find any free rides this season. For Columbus, it's gonna have to be a strong performance from Sergei Bobrovsky and the whole Blue Jacket squad if they want a chance. I mean, other than Panarin, they really don't have much in the goal-scoring department, do they? I mean, they are the second worst team to make the playoffs for goals for, while the Capitals have Ovechkin, Backstrom, Kuznetsov, and Oshie if he's healthy. On top of that, we've seen Braden Holtby dominate in the playoffs before, so I wouldn't worry about his save percentage this year, guys. He's 28 years of age. He's just fine. So as long as Holtby doesn't screw the pooch, I think the Capitals will come out of this series on top. So I say Capitals in 6 games. Lastly, we have the defending Stanley Cup champion Pittsburgh Penguins versus their Pennsylvania rivals, the Philadelphia Flyers. Now here's where I'm going to make my crazy pick of the day. This choice has nothing to do with stats, prior performances, or individual players. This is all a gut feeling, so bear with me, okay? Those Philly fans are crazy, and they become certifiably insane when their team plays against the Penguins. I don't see the Flyers losing at home against the Penguins this round, which means it's going to 7. I think the Penguins are going to underestimate the Flyers. I think they're overconfident. How could they not be? Back-to-back cup wins, while the Flyers had to fight tooth and nail over the last 10 games just to make the playoffs, going 6-1-3, not losing those regulation games. Big for playoffs. Claude Giroux also has been a beast this year, and if you remember, he was the catalyst back in 2012, the first-round victory against the Penguins, that upset. Now, can he lead his Flyers past them again? I say yes. The Flyers take the defending Penguins out in 7 games. Sorry, Phil. So there it is, my predictions for the first round. And just for fun, let's do a mock second, third, and fourth round prediction using my choices here. Round 2, we would have the Predators up against the Jets, and I'd have to give the nod to the Preds. I mean, Winnipeg looks great, don't get me wrong, but they haven't proven themselves in the playoffs yet, unlike Nashville with last year's run. So I'm going with Nashville. The LA Kings and the San Jose Sharks would once again face off in the playoffs, and I'd have to go with the Kings. I feel like they're going to have some magic this year, and they also have the Sharks number in the playoffs, so LA is my choice. Over to the East, then we have Boston versus Tampa. I got to give it to the Bolts straight up. I mean, if they stay healthy, and that's the key, if they stay healthy, then they are deeper and more talented than the Bruins, in my opinion. Might just be deeper and more talented than every team in the NHL. Who knows, right? After that, we would have the Capitals versus the Flyers. And even though I call Philly to beat the Pens, they won't have that same insane mojo that they had for the Penguins up against the Capitals. So I'm calling Ovi to get by the second round for the first time. And that means the conference final will have the best team from both conferences, Tampa and Nashville. But I say both lose in round 3 to the underdogs. LA is due for a comeback with a healthy roster, and if Ovi makes it past the second round, you gotta feel like he's going all the way. It would be a travesty if he didn't, which leaves us in the Cup final with the LA Kings versus the Washington Capitals. Now, it would be heartbreaking to see, but I'm putting my money on the LA Kings to win it all. Poor Ovi. LA, they have one of the easier trips to the Cup final, and they have a team full of players who have experienced and succeeded in the playoff grind. They've done it before, they can do it again. I am so sorry, Ovechkin. That would be a nightmare to witness, but I could see it happening. So you guys, let me know what you think of my predictions. I'll be watching the playoff games tonight in the website chat, so if you guys want to watch the game with others, come join us. I'll also be doing a playoff simulation to see what EA Sports thinks of their playoff predictions. So there's a lot of content still to come, boys, but let me know what you guys think, and there will be a link to our website down in the comments section. Thanks again for watching, boys, and one last thing, go Leafs go! Come on, boys! Hey guys, Johnny here, and thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, give us a like, hit that subscribe button, and make sure notifications are on so you don't miss out on any new content. You can also swing by our website, which has forums and a live chat. That, along with Twitter, allows us to play with our subscribers in our GTA lobbies or the 24/7 open Minecraft server, where you can build with others or play in one of the many mini games across Superbia. Our Patreon account helps us support our website and the Minecraft server, and we also live stream on Twitch, where I take days off my life for your entertainment. Sonny Gray, get out of it. You stupid pieces of I should have gone with Jose for Fernandez. Oh my God, pitching change. Fernandez, get your ass in there. Oh, I swear to God, baseball God just decided to all over me. Grand slam, oh yeah. Make me miss the playoffs with a first-ranked team. Year 2, 30 games above 500, no divisional win, trip to the wild card. First inning.